I turned YouTube on a few days ago, as I do every single day, and I hope you guys do as well. And there's one guy who's reared his head again almost everywhere on my news feed, on my homepage, and everywhere pretty much. And that is Andrew Tate. Now, I know I made a video about Andrew Tate when... Did he get locked up at the time? I think it was before he kind of... Actually, no, it was just as he got locked up. So, almost 6 months now. Wow, have I been doing this that long? Yeah, I've been doing this 6 months almost. Have I been doing YouTube 6 months? I don't know. Almost. I think I've almost been doing it 6 months or a little bit longer than 6 months. But anyway, the point I'm trying to say is I thought I might as well throw my 2 pence in. Because everyone seems to have an opinion on Tate. Now, obviously, like everyone else, I heard about Tate. We're watching some sensationalistic YouTube shorts, going crazy. He's going nuts. He's here, he's there, he's everywhere, saying some outrageous things. And I get it. I understand it. You hear me talk about the WWF promos when they were backstage with all the Hulk Hogan posing around, the Macho Man Randy Savage going crazy. He reminds me very similar to that kind of style. And I copy that style. Not the Tate style, but I copy... If you want to go way back, when it first came to screen, and I'm a little bit older than Tate, so I'm not saying I copied him, but you get what I'm trying to say. We know what works. They knew what worked. And mine is very Nature Boy, Ric Flair, Hulk Hogan, the old school style, in your face, trying to say it as it is. So, anyway, the point I'm trying to say is, Tate blew the internet up. He went crazy, he went everywhere. Do I believe the Matrix is trying to lock him up? Yes. Do I believe he did some certain things back in the days which he shouldn't have? Yes, but, you know, who am I to say anything? The guy was broke. He wanted to make some money. He did it the way he wanted to make money. He saw that was the best way to make money. I'm not going to say what that was. Do I believe he's a human trafficker? No way. Hell no. Absolutely not. Not even close. Do I believe he's dangerous for anybody? No. Do I believe anything the guy says is dangerous? No. That doesn't mean I agree with everything that he says. That just means that I don't believe that anything he says is dangerous. I literally have... As far as any video that I've watched, I know what's satire, I know what's good, I know what he's saying when he's talking serious, I know everything about the guy. Now, if you watched his recent interview with Patrick Bet-David, you have to understand who Patrick Bet-David is to understand why Tate gives Patrick Bet-David that kind of, how can I say, what is he? He gives him the respect first and foremost, but he's a very sensible character in front of Patrick Bet-David, and he doesn't take the piss with him. You know, he's very straight shooting kind of guy when it comes to him. He's not trying to patronize him. He's not trying to be the most intelligent guy in the room. He's not trying to be the arrogant, cocky WWF promo Tate. He's trying to be the sensible businessman Tate when he's with Patrick Bet-David. So that's one thing to note, that first and foremost, who is interviewing him. Patrick Bet-David is a very... Even though sometimes... I go in waves with Patrick Bet-David. If you guys follow the YouTube scene, you understand who he is. When it comes to business, he was great. You know, top guy for business. I follow the guy, what books to read, what to do, how to earn money, everything great. Patrick Bet-David. As soon as he talks politics, boom, he takes a big nosedive. Then he starts saying the moon landing's real. Then he starts saying all the other stuff. And then he's very anti-Islamic as well, even though, look, I'm not going to get into it. So I actually unfollowed him at one point, just like I did Jordan Peterson recently as well. I'm not going to get into why I did, I just did. I'll explain on that on another video. Certain people do certain things at times which I don't agree with, and if I don't agree with something, rather than commenting and making negative stuff, I just think, you know what, I don't really need to hear this guy's opinion anymore. I got the good out of him that I needed, and that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. You can get the good that you need from somebody. You guys might not agree with every single thing I say. There's certain things I say which you think, what the hell is he talking about? If that's enough to unfollow, that's fine. If you can take something, okay, he's joking around here, this is serious, he's making some sense, you will take this from him. So I do exactly the same with people. Anyway, so Patrick Bet-David, then the Tate thing came along, and he was the only guy who was like, even though you're banned off Instagram, everywhere else, I'm going to go meet you in Madrid, and we're going to go talk, and we're going to send your message to the world. Let's hear your side of the story, because you've got to hear both sides of the story. Well, the Matrix never had a side, really. They just tried to do the same thing they do with everything, and that is just, if they don't like something that doesn't suit their agenda, cancel. Simple as. And the point of me making this video is, what did I learn from Tate? So obviously, when you watch someone on your screen so much, You have to learn something from him. You can't just watch it and think there's zero value being added here. I'm not going to waste my time watching something if there's no value added. It's very simple. So I'm watching Tate and I'm just thinking, he's everywhere. And then I started seeing his old posts resurface. And then older posts resurface. I'm thinking, oh, the guy was on Big Brother. I think his brother did an old shipwreck TV show back in the days. So these guys understood that being out there monetized them today. But they were doing that 10 years ago. So I kept watching Tate and I'm thinking, where's this video from? This is from like 2016, 2017, 2018, 19. And then I think it was 20, 21, 22 that he blew up. Was it 21, 22? I think it was 22 he blew up. Anyway, the point is the guy's been making content for a very, very long time. So when I started making content, I went on YouTube and I typed in and I said, how to grow on YouTube, how to get 1,000 subscribers on YouTube, how to get 4,000 watch hours. And everyone's like saying the same thing. Just be consistent when you're posting, make sure you make good videos, find an angle, find a niche, and or niche as they call it in America. We call it niche. I call it niche. Is it niche? No, it's definitely not niche, it's niche. Okay, even though that used to be a nightclub in Sheffield, for those people who know, no. And I thought, okay, I know what I can talk about. This is the thing I can talk about because nobody else has the opinions like me based on this stuff. And everybody else is just a Google doc reader. Okay, this is what it says about Test and Amphit. This is what it says about Masteron. So I found my style within that. Now, I knew my style wasn't suited for everybody. I used to, if you follow me on Facebook from way back, and I'm talking way back, I'm talking 2010, I always used to poke the bear. Always. That was just my style of doing things. I just used to annoy. I mean, there were so many things. Like, what can I give you an example? Let's say there's a bunch of white dudes committing some crime and it was posted on Facebook. I'd be like, deport them. You know, stuff like that I know doesn't make sense, but people would get really annoyed about it. And it's just the way it is. And even now, if you follow me on Instagram, you know I was posting that I'm pro-LGBT and I'm pro this and I'm pro-pronouns and pro-agenda this and agenda that. And if you understand where I'm coming from, you'll understand my point. So, sorry for going that way. I'm trying to come this way. When I started noticing that this guy was everywhere, I thought, I'm starting YouTube as well. What shall I do? How shall I make it on YouTube? What can I do? So I thought, first of all, it's okay to be hated because I'm used to that from way back anyway. Like I just mentioned, I'm posting all sorts of craziness anyway, but I wasn't adding value at that point. That was the issue. So I thought, okay, I'll add value. I added value. I learned that from Tate. I thought, okay, the guy does give value. He packages it his own way. So I thought, I'm very good at doing that. I've been doing that a very long time. If you know me, if you're a friend of mine, you know I package things a little bit differently. So I thought, okay, I'll package it differently. That's a good thing. I'll take that from Tate. Granted, good. And then I thought, let me post relentlessly. They were the three things that I took off him because I thought every time I opened Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, the guy's face was there saying something. So that's what I took from him. Now, you know, I don't want to make this video about what I feel, either that he's guilty or he's not guilty. Let's get into the Islamic debate. Why did he turn Muslim? Why did he do this? Why did he do that? I'm not here to judge anyone, to be honest with you. But all I'm trying to say is his message is good. I don't think on the whole his message is bad. He's trying to get guys, young men, get up off your ass, go out there, do something. It's very simple. Don't look left, don't look right. Have a goal in mind, have a goal set, zone in on that, and work hard for it every single day. And obviously the fitness aspect is as well. He's a big component. He pushes fitness just like me. Not as much, but he does push it. Do your press-ups, do your sit-ups, do your burpees. You know, he smokes cigars and has caffeine. I do not agree with that at all. Definitely don't do cigars, even though I have smoked cigars. And I definitely don't drink caffeine. I do not advocate that at all. And he's the total opposite. And that's fine. That's okay. He lives his life. I live my life. And he's way more successful than me if you measure it in monetary terms. And that's just the way it is. Nothing I can do about it. Well, I'm trying anyway. But you know what I'm trying to say. But another thing I noticed about the interview with him and Patrick Bet-David, he mentioned Tristan. Tristan's his brother. For those who don't know, I'm sure everyone knows. If you watch me, you probably know who he is. So you know who Tristan is. Tristan's his brother. And I've always said this to people as well. I've always said this to friends where people are like, you should hire somebody. You need a videographer. You need this guy. You need that guy. You're building the website now. Everything's getting a bit bigger. You need to hire more and more staff. And the problem is, I can't rely on other people to have my work ethic. That's the issue. You guys know, if you go way back from January 1st, I have not missed a day of YouTube videos. I have thought of topics, I've sat down in front of a camera, I've pressed record, I've edited, I've got my laptop out, I've watched it, made sure there's no swear words anymore because I can't swear on YouTube anymore because I'm monetized, and then uploaded it, rendered it, got a thumbnail, made the thumbnail, posted it. Then I thought, okay, that was an interesting segment from there. I'll take out reel, 1-2 reels from there, edit the reels and post them. So I'm a one-man band at the minute, one-man band. All because I don't believe many people have my work ethic. So I thought for now, I'll manage as much as I can. Now, the reason why I'm sidetracking or in this video a lot, I do apologize, but my point in travel, I've got so much to give, that's why. Tristan is his brother. Now, I've always said, if I just had one solid guy with me, just one solid guy, that's it. I don't need 2, I don't need 3. Just one solid guy, I could take it all over. Very simple. And that's what he's had in his life. He has had his brother. Who better than your own brother? To be on the same path as you. And he's the elder brother. Tristan's also been there with him. And it's a very key thing to understand, to take on board for most guys. If you are trying to do something, you shouldn't go alone. I have a few close friends to me who, before I release a video, what do you reckon to this video? Shall I be posting this? Shall I not post this? Whose opinion I value. I don't just send it to everybody and say, what do you reckon to this? You reckon people are like this? You reckon people won't like this? What do you think to this website? Is this a fair price? Is this a good price? Should I put my coaching prices up? All these things. I have a close-knit group of friends around me who I can speak to about that. And that's what I think he has kind of, I've always had this anyway, but he kind of solidified that thing that you need that network. And I know Andrew Tate's network is called the War Room. I don't know how much people join it for. I think it's $5,000 a year or something like that. Would I join it? Possibly, if I got to that stage and think if I needed the value from it. I know what I'm doing myself at the minute, and I'm good for the next couple of years at least. If I feel I need to join that at some stage, I probably will. Especially while all this thing is like up in the air. When it all dies down, I might do that at a later date. I'm not saying I won't do it. I might do it. I might give it a go, see what it's about. But just think of the values that it gives you being around other men. I think another issue is right now, most guys, once they get married or they get a girlfriend or they get on in life, they stop hanging around with other men. And that's a big thing. That's what kills your soul. It kills your banter. It kills who you are as a male. You know, guys are supposed to get together, and I've said it in the past about these videos about how I used to work the doors and how I've worked certain scenarios, and we have the lad banter, the whole, you got to take the piss out of each other. You got to go through that. You got to get to the extreme point where the guy's just borderline trying to cry. You have to feel what that feels like in order to have thick skin. And if you can do that in a controlled environment with a group of your guys, then no one outside your circle is going to touch you. No one's going to touch you. That's not to say the guys in your group are like all hating on each other. I'm saying it's all friendly banter. Nothing should ever get taken to heart. And behind each other's backs, we're like, that guy is my brother. He's a top kid. But to your face, you're a bitch. You know what I mean? We're going to do that. That's how guys are. Women are totally opposite. Women in the group, oh, you look so nice. Such hair, nice nails, nice this, nice that. Behind the backs, they're bitching about each other. Guys are the total opposite. So I do feel the lessons I learned from Andrew Tate, be relentless in your approach. Definitely be relentless. Just show who you are, whether some people like it or they don't. You can't fake your persona. You are who you are. You speak how you speak. Yes, you can learn how to speak better, how to move better, how to train, how to do all these things. You can learn these things. But you are who you are. Some people are going to like you and some people aren't. There is people out there on the internet who are very outspoken like me, who are not afraid of saying what to say, who are loved and hated. There's also geeks and nerds on the internet who are loved and hated. So there's a market for everyone. That's the way I see it. So when I first came onto this online realm, I thought, do you know what? Rather than being Mr. Nice, which I'm not Mr. Nice Guy. I'm a nice guy, but I'm not. This is the way I speak in my day-to-day meetings with friends, family, whoever. And I thought, I'm not going to tone it down, bro. I'm just going to keep it exactly the same as I am all the time. Then I never have to remember. I never have to switch it on. I never have to turn the cap on and say, right, okay, hi guys, how are you doing? You okay? Welcome to my channel. And I don't want to do all that. Don't want to do that shit. The only thing that I do change is I swear less. In real life, I swear a little bit more. But I'm a bit thick like that, is what it is. I don't know. Sometimes it just comes out. It just sounds better saying the F word. I don't know. But anyway, sorry to go off left and right. I didn't really know my opinion on what I was going to say about the Andrew Tate situation. I just wanted to know, or at least share with you guys, what I learned from him and learned from this red pill culture, is what people want to call it online. It's not bad. It's not toxic masculinity. There's none of that crap going on. The truth is, if you're watching me, then you should at least be that way inclined a little bit to understand there's a hell of a lot of people on that side. I don't want to say it's the left or the right. There's a side. There's a side that we're not on. And at the moment, I hate to say it, we're not on the losing side, but we are the minority. That is the reality right now. And it's up to every one of us to start making our opinions and our views and our real men ideologies. Like, just go out there, work hard. Go out there, be a father. Go out there, be a man. Don't be afraid. Don't be apologetic to everybody. Go out and do what needs to be done. That is it. It's very simple. They're the core values that he was teaching with everything else, unfortunately. Anyway, I hope you guys like this video. Please comment down below if Tate has taught you anything, or just what your opinion is. I'd like to hear it. And subscribe.